So using your ZV-E10 to get pictures like this, and this is actually a lot easier than you might think, so let me show you how to do it. So the way you achieve these effects is essentially changing your shutter speed. So what shutter speed is essentially a measurement of time of how long the camera sensor is letting in light. So a super long shutter speed, let's say 20 or 30 seconds, is letting in substantially more light than like, a 50th of a second. What that means in practical terms is essentially you shoot at a long shutter speed when you have bad lighting conditions. Let's say you're trying to photograph the night sky in the middle of the night. You need to shoot probably at 15, 20, maybe even upwards of 30 seconds. That's a different complicated subject we're not getting into. Then on the flip side, if you're trying to photograph fast action, let's say a guy driving by on a motorcycle, or an athlete or something like that, you need to shoot at a fast shutter speed to essentially freeze action. Now to actually adjust the shutter speed on our camera, it's super easy. So we're gonna hit the FN button on the back of the camera. We're gonna go down to shoot mode, and we're gonna switch it to S. That stands for shutter priority. Essentially the camera is going to adjust every other setting by itself, but it's gonna let you adjust the shutter speed. After that, you just adjust the shutter speed by spinning this little dial on the back, or you can use the one on the top. And now the next step is to just practice. Take your camera outside, adjust the shutter speed settings, and just see what kind of effect it has on your pictures. I'll give you a bit of a starting point here. So if you want to capture long exposures, let's say like the light trails from cars on the highway or maybe the night sky, you have to shoot with a long shutter speed, something like 20 to 30 seconds. Now for that, you're obviously going to need a tripod. I'll drop a link in the description of just a cheap $70 tripod I've had for like 6 years. It does the job. You don't need a tripod that's like $800. Don't listen to the other YouTubers. But yeah, for those, throw your camera on the tripod, set your exposure shutter speed to 20 to 30 seconds, take the picture and just see what happens. Now on the flip side, to capture fast action, set your shutter speed to anything from 1,000th of a second to 2,000th of a second or 4,000. Just play around with it based on the situation and just see what it does to your pictures. A method I like to use quite a bit is panning. So let's take, for example, this picture where you have a fast car driving by. I shoot with something like 800th of a second shutter speed, and then I actually pan my camera to match the motion of the vehicle, and it gets this nice moving motion blur effect. But yeah, that sums it up, guys. The best way to learn is to just get out there, play with your settings, and just see what happens. Thanks for watching.